Okay, folks, like I mentioned, I'm replacing, I guess either way, I'm taking the center case off of this, putting it on these axles, or I'm putting these axles on this center case. And this is probably part of the reason is this junk coming out of here, like goo, slime, also came out right there. So I'm gonna have to clean up these axles. But my guess is that's probably all over inside this case. Hopefully it's not the same when I take one of these axles off, which I actually do next. And I'll just point out that this one has 6 bolts. These are the 3 upper bolts, and then these are the 3 lower bolts, I guess, to provide extra strength. As you can see, these bolts right here are the shorter ones, and then the ones on the bottom that go through this part of the casing, which is where the bracket for the all-wheel steering linkage bolts to. Same with over here. I covered that in another video. So we'll keep working here, and I'll kind of update you guys on how this is going. All right, folks, this is the left side of the all-wheel steer unit. Not as much dirt and grime. And I already sprayed the inside of the axle out. It seems to be fine and rotates just fine, as you can see here. So it does make a mess. I did drain this before. Oops. Oh boy. I'm along for a ride here. I did drain this before we opened up the case, but I guess there's plenty of residual fluid in there. So, you know, word to the wise, I probably should have had a pan under it or something. In any case, I'll get it cleaned up and probably put a pan under the 2-wheel steer as I get it squared away. But this cleaned up pretty nicely. So I'll move on to the 2-wheel steer next. Well, there's a little bit of garbage in this one too. Not sure what to think about that, but it didn't come oozing out of here, so that's hopefully a good thing. And we'll kind of see. I might spray that in there a little bit and try to clean that out a little bit. We'll see. But this one, I'm gonna put these 2 together. So, I mean, they are slightly different how they. I guess like the same distance would be there. They still have the same spline, I guess. It looks a little different. No, it's about the same. The hole in that one is bigger than this one. Probably have to make this one a little bit thicker. Not here necessarily, but like overall. Just because of the distance maybe. I don't know, maybe not. Okay, folks, so we're in the middle of Hurricane Idalia, and it's really not that big a deal right now. This is probably one of the weaker bands, although the stronger bands aren't that big a deal. But you can see there's just some debris on the ground. The dog was just let out. He's in and out, in and out, in and out the whole time. Anyway, so I figure what better time. Oh my God. So I don't know what they're doing. All right, I'll be in just a minute. Now, after I do this, we're gonna put the axles back on this thing here, which shouldn't take very long. I did disassemble. So in order to do this job, I got, as you can see here, the right stuff. Somebody had mentioned this on one of the forums, so I figured I will deal with that. It says high flexibility oil resistance, ideal for domestic and older models. This is a older model, maybe sort of a domestic. Sensor safe, RTV gasket, or silicone, I should say. So we'll use this stuff. It was a few bucks more than the regular black stuff that I get, which is probably fine too, but I figured I would try this, see how it works. So we'll get started with this. All right, we're back. I cleaned these up and actually switched these out. They're the same exact one. that was from the other transmission, but these bolts are nicer and shinier and have less crud on them, so I figured I'd use those. So we're just going to go ahead and clip this thing off for a very small bead, and then it's going to go around. So as you can see here, I'm applying the gasket sealer. I did speed up the camera a little bit because who wants to watch real-time gasket sealer application? And I will say these rims, or these axles, were a little trickier to install than I thought. I mean, they weren't too terribly bad, but just getting them lined up just right. We have to turn them a little bit so the gears hit the correct gears in the differential. And same thing on the other side here, you know, putting up the gasket sealer and getting everything to line up. This side seemed to be, the left side seemed to be a little more difficult than the right side for some reason. Or maybe it's because the right side was already installed. I don't know. I couldn't be for sure like what the deal was with that. So, but they went together pretty well. And for any of you who think that I'm going to squish those bolts against the gears, I'm going to try, they're just for alignment. I'm going to try to, like right there, see that was able to wiggle in. So shoot. Well. You know, I don't want to tighten them when there's any sort of stress on the internal components, which is why I'm lifting this up so they can easily thread in there. And that actually, shoot, let's have to tap in for that. Okay, that's probably good. So my next step on this will be to get this thing down on a floor jack and then reinstalled into the tractor as I still wait for the rims to show back up from the powder coat guy and reinstall all the tires. And then the tractor should be pretty much set at that point in time. If you like this video, I appreciate it if you'd hit the like button. And if you wanted to see more videos about my John Deere garden tractors or my John Deere 1 series, you can hit the subscribe button as well. I'd appreciate that, and hopefully I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.